This is Danielle.
I'm Kayla Guiver and I have 3 sons.
Giving birth during the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic has been awful.
My honest opinion is that it's dramatised, that it is over the top, and that it's a control thing.
I think COVID is not real. It's a cold. It's crap. It's all made up.
My experience during pregnancy was awful. I wasn't allowed a partner with me for that time due to obviously mixing household. So I was actually in there on my own, dealing with it all on my own. The midwives, they're not allowed to hug you, or because obviously coronavirus, they're not allowed to, they would have to put on full PPE and things like that. I felt like the midwives were so rushed off their feet that they never actually got round. I just kept getting palmed off. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was shocked, happy, excited, nervous. I was everything into one. I was sick for the whole 8 months. I didn't enjoy it, not one bit. Everyone that says it's this amazing thing, it really wasn't for me.
When it first started, I was scared. I didn't understand what was going to happen, where it was going, and Kieran lost his job at the beginning of the lockdown, so we were scared financially of how we was going to cope with everything. Thankfully found work pretty quickly that he could do during lockdown, but it was stressful. It's all been stressful.
With the shopping, like if you need nappies, milk, people started bulk buying, so then you weren't able to get these items in the shops because of everyone was buying 20 of one or 30 of the other, which is just a nightmare. Yeah, if I'm honest, totally honest, I hated being pregnant, every single minute of it, but having my baby now, obviously it was worth it, but it wasn't for me this big amazing thing that everyone makes out it is. I gave birth to my baby, he was 4 weeks early, which really affected both me and him. I always felt, when I had him, unfortunately I bled, that's why I had to go into hospital early, and they chose that it was best to induce me early, so I gave birth 4 weeks early in the end. It affected me massively. I kept blaming myself, I kept thinking that it was something that I'd done wrong. It was just awful. And then for him, because he was born at 36 weeks, he had to spend a week in intensive care on loads of machines and monitors, which was just awful. It was the worst thing that I could wish on anyone. And because of I gave birth during COVID-19, when he was in intensive care, it was only one partner was allowed. So one parent was allowed. So if I was to go up to intensive care, my partner wasn't allowed. We wasn't allowed at the bedside at the same time. So it was just an awful experience, to be honest. So I've got a 3-year-old as well as my newborn baby. Giving birth before COVID was amazing. I went in with my birthing partner. It was all lovely. Having the support and the help there from a partner really makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it has. It's affected my children massively. For a long time they couldn't go around and see their cousins, see their family. Jensen was really affected by it. He was only little when it first happened, and then so by the time that we were allowed to see people again, he'd forgotten everybody. He didn't know who anybody was and felt uncomfortable around people, family, like my mum. He didn't want to go to my mum. Yeah, it's affected me. My husband's works as normal, so I've been home. I've not been able to go and see my friends and my family, popping over to my mum's and popping to see my cousins. It's been lonely. It's been isolating for all of us. They've been happy and contented. They were confused why they can't go to the park. They're confused why they can't go to see their nan. They're confused why they can't go to the shops. Overall, they're still happy kids, which is the most important thing.
If you needed anything, you've got your birthing partner there, so if I couldn't get up to go and grab something and the midwife was busy, I know I had a birthing partner there to help me and reassure me that everything was going to be okay. Whereas now, like whilst the coronavirus pandemic's going on, obviously they're only allowed in when you're in established labour. So when you're on the antenatal ward before you give birth, you're not allowed a partner with you. You're only allowed one with you when you go over to the labour ward, which is established labour. Some people labour really quickly, so for them, their partner could even miss their birth of their baby, and if it's their firstborn baby, they could miss the birth of their firstborn baby.
I personally believe it's a cold that's just been exaggerated. I do believe there's something out there that's killing people, but it's just the flu. That's what I think of COVID. So I have 2 jobs. I work in hospitality as a supervisor, and I also just completed a level 5 beauty course, which means I do lip fillers and tattooing, and I haven't been able to do either. So it's really thrown me off. I haven't been able to work. Everyone was blaming the pub shut. It's still the pub's fault.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, my kids are homeschooled anyway, so they don't have the school kind of social life, but they have a social life with their cousins, their friends. There's homeschool meetups they've not been able to go to. They haven't been able to mix with their friends. They haven't been able to mix with any other children because of it.
Well, I mean, they were homeschooled in the first lockdown, and that was fine. We got used to it, we adjusted to it, they liked it. And then they went back, and if anything, school scared them because they had to always wash their hands, their teachers wear masks, and it's not nice. My little girl at the minute, one of her classmates has been tested positive for COVID, and she has to self-isolate for 14 days. She now thinks she's going to die because of school, even though she ain't going to die. She's fine. Yeah, they're both afraid. I've had my little boy cry to me, tell me I'm going to die, I've got a cough, I've got COVID. And that's literally because of school and what people are saying at school. Ruby, as I said, she needs a COVID test. She wants a COVID test because she's dying, even though she's got no symptoms at all. 100%. I don't watch the news. Stopped watching the news when it first came out because they only tell you on the news what they want you to know. It's little things like seeing their cousins, you know, being able to just go outside if they want to go outside, going to the shop, seeing everyone wear masks. I don't wear a mask. And, you know, some people come up to us and they ask us why we're not wearing masks. And obviously I tell them, it's none of your business. You're not allowed to ask me. It's against the law for you to ask me that. Back off. And it makes them feel anxious sometimes, and it's not nice. It's not nice. But in a way, it's been great because I've not been working and I've spent so much time with my kids. So, you know, it's a catch-22 for me because we've just been carrying on life like normal. So